Namaste, and welcome to Nazaré, Portugal. You'll see that these videos are recorded from a variety of different geomagnetic locations, bringing their unique energies to our practices, which is pretty cool. First and foremost, this practice is best done on an empty stomach, or at least 2 hours after eating, so there's room to move all our organs around. This practice is more than just breathing. It is remembering. The breath is the bridge between your body, your mind, and your spirit. In this session, we'll enter Mahat Yoga Pranayama, a rhythm that awakens your life force, clears the subtle channels, and harmonizes your energy field. Each cycle of breath is a doorway, each count a step into deeper alignment. As you move with me, trust that you're not just following instructions, you're attuning to a current that has flowed through yogis and seekers for thousands of years. All you need is presence, willingness, and your own breath. Let us begin by exploring the most important practice you will ever learn. Breathing. Full, deep breathing. This is the foundation for everything else that we do. Every posture, every movement, every meditation, all of it is built on breath. When you learn to breathe fully, deeply, and consciously, you tap into the core of your energy system. You awaken your body's natural healing capabilities. Breath nourishes every cell. It strengthens your circulation, your digestion, your immunity. It brings you into the present moment. It balances your nervous system. It calms the mind. It opens the doorway to higher awareness. Practicing full, deep breathing, not just here, but all the time, every day, will improve your health and energy more than anything else that you could do. This is the practice, the foundation. This is the key. So let's settle in. Let's sit up nice and tall. Maybe move your sit bones away from the flesh and sit up. And let's just take a deep breath in. And exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Beautiful. Do that a couple more times. Deep breath in. And let it go. Nice. One more time. Let it all the way out. Let's take a moment together to commit to this practice. You've already shown up. And showing up is the most difficult part of any practice. So let's just truly gift ourselves the presence of this moment. Let's allow ourselves to truly experience whatever it is that happens here. Let's tune in to every sensation, every feeling. Notice what it feels like to breathe. And when the mind wanders, because it will, maybe to a future event, maybe to a judgment about this experience, or even about yourself, just let that go. Notice first that your mind has wandered, and come back to the breathing and to how it feels to breathe. Gently, without force, over and over again, we keep coming back to the present moment through the breath. This is the practice, again and again. Return to the simplicity of breathing, to the pure feeling of breathing. Let's begin by talking about why we should breathe through the nose, because of prana absorption. Prana itself, you've maybe heard this word, chi, vital life force energy. It is the electromagnetic energy that this universe is made of. It's taken in through the olfactory sense of smell. The olfactory bulb sits right underneath your brain, and it's directed straight into the brain to empower the nervous system, to scan the air if there's anything bad or good. And prana itself is, in essence, the energy of detachable electrons spinning around the protons of atoms. And it is abundant in nature, in jungles, by the ocean, near waterfalls. I wish I could have taken you to the beach to do this practice, but alas. So wherever molecules move, these extra energy particles are released. This is basically the same power that we create in electricity through the flow of electrons and copper wire. And in humans, this power makes us feel positive, happy, optimistic. It creates a deep sense of well-being when we're fully charged with prana and oxygen, something that we're negligent in at times and didn't even know it. So, as prana flows directly into the brain, air flows to the lungs, oxygen is absorbed into the blood and carried all throughout the body, which every cell craves, all 50 trillion of them. The diaphragm, which separates your chest cavity, its rhythmic movement also stimulates circulation into the legs and into the back. And all of this internal movement helps the body's cells release carbon dioxide, clearing it from the cells and interstitial fluids, where it often accumulates and creates a toxic acidity. Before we get into the breathing practices itself, let's go ahead and just do a little bit of movement, start to warm up the body a little bit and get things flowing. And we'll do some asana movements, some yoga, to start to bring specific opening into certain areas. So as we're sitting up nice and tall, this is a great place to start. Let's grab a hold of our knees gently. And as you inhale fully, breathe into the belly, the ribs, the chest. Let's allow the chest, the heart to open up in front as the chin lifts up. And on the exhale, squeezing chin to chest, curl your back behind you. Squeeze all the air out. It's just gentle waking up. Moving the back. Feeling what's happening while you're doing this. All the way in. All the way out. When I'm guiding yoga or asanas, I don't want you to follow me. I want you to follow you. That means your movement is followed by your air. Your air is what moves your body. Maybe you want to go super fast. Can't really recommend that, but this is your practice. As with any yoga practice, this is your practice. So tune into what you need. Maybe you want to go super slow. Allow your body to tell you what to do. Allow your air to move you. Beautiful. Let's let that go. Let's pause for a moment and just breathe natural, not controlling it. And just start to feel what's happened with the movement we've done. Wonderful. New expansion, new growth, new sensations. So, anytime that we're doing an asana practice, we're not trying to compete. We're not trying to see what the other person is doing. We are tuning into ourselves and our own experience. And deep breathing in this process opens up all kinds of energy channels. And if there's any discomfort or not pain, because if we're going into something like, for example, if we're like this and it starts to hurt, that means we've gone too far. We want to back out a little bit and then breathe deeply into the space that's open. Okay, so anytime that we're doing asanas, that's what we're doing. So let's move into all fours here. We're going to go into the rabbit pose. So on your knees, and when you're on your knees, maybe it'll be helpful if you have a cushion that can go underneath your legs or perhaps even in between your calves and your thighs if this is uncomfortable. Otherwise, just allow your sit bones to press into your heels and we'll come all the way down. So your elbows should be touching your knees, your hands are spread out nice and wide. And from here, we do some belly breathing. We breathe deeply into the belly only. And you feel that your belly really presses against your thighs. This is a great warm-up for the belly, for the muscles, for the interstitial fluids. Your focus is on deeply feeling, breathing into the belly, and squeezing it out and feeling that. We'll go for a few more. Stay with your sensations. My teacher David would say, we're creating an experience, and we are exploring that experience. Very good. Let's come on up to the incomplete rabbit. So our hands, our forearms can be touching our knees, and our hands, our palms are still spread out wide, and we're still kind of bent over here. And as you breathe deeply into your belly, it still touches the upper thighs, but not as much. Into the belly and all the way in, and squeeze it out. A few more. Very good. Now, let's come on up to our all fours. All right, so really spread your hands nice and wide, pressing down into the pads of the fingertips with the spread fingers, and we stack our elbow, our wrist, and our shoulder. So everything's in one nice solid line, so our foundation is solid here. We do the same thing with the knee and the hips. They're stacked in one line so that everything is nice and straight. Every time we come to a tabletop, this is what we're checking. The tops of the feet are pressing down into the mat, into the earth. This is our foundation along with our hands. So every time we get to the tabletop, we'll go through that checklist. We're going to go through our tiger and tigress. So tiger, we inhale and we raise the chin up, we raise the tailbone up, and we drop the belly. And we exhale, chin to chest, tailbone tucks in. Again, allow the air to move you. Inhale, fill up all the way. Exhale, squeeze it all out. It's like a string is lifting your spine up to the sky. Feeling what's happening in your spine and the discs. Focusing your awareness on this movement. One more. Well, let's go into our tigress. So we've just rocked our spine up and down. Let's go side to side. So plant your toes into the earth. So you curl your toes and you plunk them down into the earth. We take a big inhale here in the middle. And on the exhale, we plant our toes into the earth on the right. Our head curls over to the right, and we tail. If you had a tail, it'd be swinging over to the right as well. Squeeze all the way out. Inhale to the middle. And to the left, exhale it out. Notice there's a pinching on one side. Find your flow. I suggest the movements. Maybe some key highlights. But really, it's up to you to move your body with your breath, to notice whatever is available to notice. One more time to each side. And then let's get back to a seated position. From here, the first section we'll work on is the belly breath. The benefits of abdominal breathing begin with the gentle pressure and release on the abdominal organs. This movement, it acts like an internal massage, stimulating better circulation of all the bodily fluids through all the digestive, sexual, and eliminative organs, like the stomach, the pancreas, the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, the intestines, and the colon. For women, the uterus. For men, the prostate. And for everyone, the kidneys and adrenals. These body fluids, mostly blood and lymph, become enriched with oxygen thanks to this deeper breathing in the lower lobes of the lungs. This creates a rejuvenating, healing effect on the trillions of cells within all of these glands and organs. In essence, this is our life support system. So let's get into the practice. Mahat Yoga Pranayama, abdominal breathing. In this form of breathing, the air is drawn into the lower lobes of the lungs. As you inhale, the abdomen expands outward, bulging like a balloon filling with air, like a naked baby on the beach. Sometimes this is called belly breathing, but remember, the belly is not actually being filled with air. What this is, it's the diaphragm muscle at work. And the diaphragm splits your torso, and it just cups the bottom end of the lungs, and it splits your torso in half. So when you inhale, the diaphragm moves downward into the digestive organs, and it pushes them gently out of the way. And the belly expands. And then on the exhalation, the diaphragm rises back up into the chest. The abdomen contracts inward. The navel draws toward the spine. It's like your belly button is kissing the spine. And you squeeze out the last bit of the old air. And now this part is super important, squeezing out the last bit of the old air. And it's something that not a lot of people do regularly. So getting rid of this extra old CO2 is essential. And this movement of the diaphragm, it massages all of the organs in the lower torso. It stimulates better function and digestion, elimination, and sexual health. It improves circulation. It keeps the organs healthy. The abdominal area, it acts like a second heart, so pumping blood and moving lymphatic fluid. Like, remember, the lymphatic fluid doesn't have its own heart of its own. It relies on movement. It relies on this deep breathing and movement in general to circulate in and out of the lower body. And this breathing provides all of the moving force that it needs, all the way down into the toes. So many physical disorders below the rib cage can actually be prevented through this type of breathing. And when combined with asanas, yoga, kriyas, energy movement, and proper diet, they can also be healed. With this lower section of the body in good health, the nervous system here becomes a stronger conductor. Prana from the first two chakras then is able to rise up through the nerves, up into the brain, supporting higher awareness. So let's get into the practice itself, beginning with the belly breath. If by all means you would prefer to sit here on your sit bones, this is a perfectly good position. You can have your legs crossed, which is one way to do it, or you could go into the half lotus, which is one leg on top. Or if you've been practicing yoga, you can have both legs over and the full lotus. So this is actually, those are the different permutations, but one of the best ways to do breathing practice is from the thunderbolt position. So that's basically coming down into child's pose and then coming up onto your sit bones. So what this does is this creates an energetic connection between your sit bones and your heels and allows your full upright breathing system to be engaged in a relaxed manner. And like I said, use cushions if this is uncomfortable, or just sit cross-legged. It took me a long time to be able to sit like this, so don't worry if you're not here, or if you need to come out of it, whatever is best for you, just make sure that you're comfortable. We're here to create and explore an experience and not to be in pain. So, the belly breath. There's a couple ways to do it, in that you can have your hand on your belly as a demonstration guide, and it's not really there to like push or anything like that. It's just there to show you how much your belly is actually moving. So we're only going to be focusing on the bottom third. We're going to be filling up into the belly only, and squeezing it out. This is all we're doing. Filling the belly all the way 100% in, squeezing it out 100%. Think of a naked baby on the beach. Their belly hangs out. They don't have a care in the world. They're just hanging out, right, nice and big and bulging. This is the perfect way to be doing the breathing. And in today's society, we do a lot of sucking it in, and we're trying to look good, whatever, according to someone's definition. But really, just let that belly be free. Let it hang loose. There's no need to be holding anything. That's how you can get a full, complete, deep breath into the belly. And then to squeeze it out all the way, like I said, the belly button wants to kiss the spine on the complete exhale. The other way to do it is not with the hand on there, but you choose your setting, keep going. If you have it in your practice, you can be applying Mula Bandha on the exhale. If you don't know what that is, we're going to go over that soon. Now, this is the perfect time to go over a cleansing breath. We've just been doing a little bit of work, and so the feeling of tiredness is actually carbon dioxide accumulating in your system. So the best way to overdo this is to get rid of all that CO2. And this is the only time that we breathe out through the mouth in general during breath work. So let's take a big inhale, the belly, the ribs, the chest. And then through the mouth, we squeeze the belly, the ribs fall, the chest falls. Pump it out. And in the same way. One more. Now, let the breath return to normal, natural. Just notice whatever there is to notice here. Focus is still on the breathing and how it feels to breathe. We're just not controlling it. Very good. Let's go ahead and pick it up a notch. So that first round was just to kind of feel what it feels like to feel in 100% in and 100% out. Now, we turn this into more, I don't want to say a workout, but an activity. We're going to be using work. We're going to be doing work here. So, like I said, about squeezing out that dirty dish rag with a little bit more speed, we achieve that. So, what we really want to do is 100% into the belly and 100% out. We do not sacrifice quality for speed. So we find the speed that suits you. Breathe into the belly, squeeze it out. If you like, you can find a hand mudra. We'll talk more about those later as well. Now find a speed that is suitable for you. You don't have to follow me. Go as fast as you are comfortable to go. Keep going. If any coughs, burps, farts, sneezes, anything comes up, let it out. Celebrate. This is energy moving. I have a little energy moving myself. Stay with it. You may start to feel some fatigue. Keep it going. We're almost there. Let's go for a few more. Beautiful. Let's go for 3 cleansing breaths. One. That's 2. Now let's fill up all the way, only this time at the very top, we're going to look down gently and we're going to lock and hold and relax. We're going to hold our breath all the way in and just notice what happens. So fill up. Look down gently, hold your breath, and just relax everything. Feel, observe, notice. Perhaps some lightheadedness or tingling. Keep holding. Observe the sensations, where they are. And then when it is your time, gently look up a little bit. Let the air go. Watch it leave. And then squeeze the last bits out, and we'll hold empty and create a vacuum inside of us. Hold that by pumping it out. Focus on the vacuum. Feel is pulling from the inside. And when it is your time, you undo your locks and you breathe in. Feel this vacuum being filled with beautiful, fresh prana and air. Take a few deep breaths. Notice what there is to notice. Beautiful. Well done. Let's get into a little bit more movement to start to open up the midsection. So we're done with the belly breathing. We're not going to focus on that anymore. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of movement here. So we did our tiger and tigress. Let's go ahead and do our tiger and tigress kriyas. So coming back to our all fours, once again, spread those fingers nice and wide. Stack the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, one nice tall line. Same with the knees and the hips. And the tiger kriya, Vyagri kriya, we'll bring our right knee into the middle a little bit like a tripod. And then on the inhale, the left knee can come up, the left ankle can reach up, the chin reaches up, we fill up all the way. And on the exhale, we kick and pump knee to nose. Squeezing all the air out. Beautiful. That was 9. Let's switch sides. 9 is a good number. So left knee into the middle for the tripod. We inhale, chin reaches up, belly drops, ankle reaches to the sky as we fill up all the way. Let's kick and pump for 9. Beautiful. Let's come back into our tabletop. And let's bring the right knee back into the middle. And then for this next one, the tigress kriya, we're going to straighten our left leg. And then inhale, and the left leg comes over and plants onto the earth as we look over to our foot as we inhale all the way. And on the exhale, we'll kick and pump to the left side, squeezing it all out. Let's go for 9. That's 9. Very good. Switching sides. In and out through the nose. One more. All right, coming back. Let's come down into child's pose. Stretch it out. Couple of breaths here. Beautiful. Now, let's get into the incomplete camel, is what this is called. So we come back into our thunderbolt position here, Vajrasana. And as we inhale, we come on up, fill up all the way. And then lean back. And exhale. Come on back down to Vajrasana. So this is our sequence. We inhale. We don't spend too much time in the back bend. Deep breaths all the way in. Let's add a variation. So we'll inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, if you have the room, push your hips forward and place your hands on your heels. And take some deep breaths from here. Feel that expansion. Inhale, let's come up. Come back down to a Vajrasana, or if this is not comfortable, then to a seated position, and we'll do some twists. So inhale, the arms up. Exhale, let's twist to the right, and you can grab your outer knee with your left hand as you twist to the right. And then let's breathe deep here, all the way up to the top. On the exhale, you might be able to twist gently deeper without going too far. Inhale back to center. And exhale the other side. Inhale back up through center. And exhale, let's let it go. Very good. Well done. The benefits of midsection breathing are profound. The main organs and glands affected here are the lungs themselves, the heart, and the thymus gland, which sits right on top of the heart and controls our immune system. So the control center for the whole immune system is the thymus. And as the chest cavity expands and contracts, a gentle massage is created for the heart. And this makes the heart's work easier. Circulation is stimulated in the arteries and the veins. And another vital aspect is the pumping action. This breath adds to the lymphatic system. Just inside the armpits are a series of lymph nodes, and these nodes scan the lymph, letting you know if there's anything good or bad, and if it needs to make any corrective action by analyzing its contents, and send signals to the immune system if harmful bacteria or viruses are detected. So this breathing has proven highly effective in reducing heart problems, especially in adult men, where the chest has often been held rigid for years. Rigid patterns in the body can stem from an overabundance of Muladhara energy. And when this happens, movement becomes restricted and the ribs lose their flexibility. Circulation slows in the heart and the lungs, and over time, even the pericardium, the protective sac around the heart, can become rigid, restricting the movement of the beating heart itself. And that could lead to all kinds of different long-term heart problems. So, where the ribs attach to the sternum, it's stiff here, and it's like a series of cartilage links. And these links provide what are necessary for flexibility, for midsection breathing. But without regular movement, this cartilage can calcify and they turn into bone. And so it makes it really stiff. Your chest is really stiff. And when that happens, this part of the breath is locked out of the action altogether. Now, Mahat Pranayama, the mid-chest breathing. Here, the movement is brought up into the intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs. The air is channeled into the middle lobes of the lungs. So as you inhale, the ribs move out to the sides like an accordion. We're no longer doing the belly breathing here. Our main focus is just in this midsection. So this accordion expands front and back and side to side. This expansion opens up the heart space, the center for which the chest fills with breath. Exhaling here requires a gentle squeeze. And it may feel a little unnatural at first, but it is so important. Exhaling fully is just as important as inhaling fully. This breath raises the massaging effect from the abdominal organs up into the heart, into the thymus gland, and the network of arteries and veins. Now, the thymus, or our immune system's control center, is easily reactivated through this breathing. When we're young, it's usually quite large, and it learns by eating all kinds of things, gum and dirt and whatnot, and then once it learns all these things, it grows smaller. And we actually can reactivate this. So at the same time, the heart space is getting cleared out of cholesterol and fatty deposits that otherwise build up over time. So with each expansive and contractive pulsation, boosts the movement of fluids in the body. Lymph moves through the tissues and the lungs of the heart, through the pulmonary sac and the pericardium. And the pericardium, by the way, it's this double-walled sac containing the heart and its great vessels. It's protected and lubricated by this rhythmic breathing. And the circulation of the lymph through the body is carried partly by the heartbeat, but mostly by the breath. So here in the mid-chest breathing is the lungs, the heart, and the thymus that receive the greatest benefit. As lymph is circulated through this area, it's also fed back into the bloodstream, and it completes its round of circulation. So this breathing, it also gives a gentle massage to the upper digestive organs as well, the stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, and pancreas. And when this area is detoxified, energy begins to rise from the solar plexus and the cardiac plexus. These chakras, these energy centers of our third and fourth, Manipura and Anahata, and again, brings energy up for higher awareness. Mahat Yoga Pranayama is also the #1 activator for the immune system. It directly stimulates the thymus, which rests just above the heart, and awakens Anahata chakra, the center of feeling. This is where how you feel about yourself directly connects to your healing and repair functions. When feelings of sadness, grief, or guilt dominate, the immune system weakens. When worry and fear persist, this negative effect is doubled. But when the heart space is open and breath is full, healing and vitality can flow. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for this practice, again, choose your seating however you like to sit most comfortably. And as you notice during my demonstration, I have my hands on the rib cage. The thumbs can be behind and the fingers in the front. And like I said, we're not using the belly anymore, not for this part. So what we want to do is we really want to press into our hands. If you want to use your hands, if not, you don't need to. But when you breathe in, you can really feel this accordion, this pushing out forward and back at the same time. And on the exhale, it's a squeezing out. This is also called bellows breath, because just like we're stoking a fire, we're stoking a bellows. Don't push yourself too hard here, but you can actually squeeze a little bit gently on the exhale. Excuse me, energy moving, celebration. Find your rhythm, but fill up all the way. And exhale all the way. Don't need to follow me. Keep going. 100% in, 100% out. Ideally, you do this 108 times every morning for each section. But it's a practice, something you build up to. Don't worry if you don't get it right away. Notice fatigue starting to come in. Notice whatever sensations are there to notice. A few more. All the way in, all the way out. Let it go. Let's take a few cleansing breaths. So breathe all the way in, belly, ribs, chest. Out through the mouth, pump it out. That's 2. Now let's fill up once again, all the way, and we'll lock and we'll hold full. The key is to fill up and then look down and gently lock your throat, and then just relax everything. Noticing whatever sensations are present, keep holding. Rest your awareness on your body. Noticing any lightheadedness or tingling. And then when it is your time, gently look up and let the air go out. And when it's almost empty, squeeze the last bits out and we'll hold empty. Find the vacuum inside of you. Pump it out. When it is your time, breathe in. Feel the air filling your pelvic bowl, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and out and above. A few deep breaths here. Just notice and feel. Very well done. Moving on to the upper section, Adhyam Pranayama. Here, the breath is drawn into the uppermost section of the lungs, the clavicular lobes. This is accomplished by raising the chest upward, almost as if the neck is sinking down into the chest. There's a natural breathing impulse coming from the medulla oblongata, the breathing center at the top of the spine. This impulse activates the muscles that raise the rib cage upward. Now take care here. During inhalation, avoid lifting or tensing the shoulders. This is not what you're supposed to be doing, and it'll be counterproductive. In the beginning, you may use gentle shoulder movements to free this area from stiffness. This is a great way to get a little warmed up before we begin. But over time, the shoulders should remain relaxed. And while the chest alone rises and falls, it's the air that moves the chest up and down. When exhaling, it may feel as though the chest and shoulders are dropping down, while the neck extends outward. So we exert a little downward pressure to push all the air out completely. Asthma, in fact, is often a result of poor breathing habits in this very section, and this practice can help correct it. If you know anybody who has asthma, give this practice a try with them. So this up and down movement of the chest, it expands and contracts the upper thoracic cavity, and with it, a pumping action for the lymph system. The lymph node moves through the nodes and returns to the bloodstream. This effect is stronger when practiced in child's pose, with your hands out extended, with the arms stretched forward. And the benefits of breathing are felt from the lungs to the top of the head. The pulsations stimulate circulation in the clavicular area, activating the thyroid and the parathyroid glands, and they extend upward through the voice box, through the tongue, through the mouth, and into the brain. And the brain is most energized, the most stimulated organ, when this type of breathing is performed. It is especially useful for intellectual work. Also, headaches and other disorders in the head can be alleviated through this kind of breathing. And once this area has been detoxified, the energy of the breath flows naturally upward, awakening the fifth, Vishuddha, and the sixth chakras, Ajna, leading energy to move up for higher awareness once again. This practice also boosts circulation of lymph, go figure, through the nodes in the neck, You know, when you get sick, these guys get swollen. Well, the tonsils also play a primary role in educating your immune system, the first line of defense against invading antigens. For this system to function, circulation must be fast and efficient. The chemical messengers being released by the tonsils need to reach the thymus, the spleen, and other immune centers throughout the body. So, upper breathing pumps blood and lymph into the head and brain through the lymph nodes, tonsils, the adenoids, and this boosts circulation, increases brain cell efficiency. It uplifts the mental state, bringing optimism, inspiration, and the circulating fluids are enriched with oxygen, the optimal fuel that every single cell craves. This is why in modern times, upper breathing is so important. Today, most of our work is mental. Sitting at desks, just working all day, we're thinking a lot and using our brains. Yet the body has no built-in reflex to breathe deeper during this intense thinking, the way it does during physical labor. In the past, when our work was manual, the oxygen demand of the muscles naturally triggered deeper breathing. But with mental work, the brain consumes vast amounts of oxygen, yet no automatic response comes. This leaves many people oxygen deficient, cells under oxidative stress, and minds trapped in chronic anxiety. So Adhyam Pranayama corrects this. It restores oxygen to the brain, it boosts circulation, and uplifts the entire mental state. This breath is a powerful key to clarity, energy, and peace of mind. So let's get right into it. We're letting go of the belly breath, the ribs breath, and we're only breathing into this upper third right here. So like I said, the air moves your body. So as you breathe in just to the shoulders, I'm not lifting my shoulders, but they are moving because they're full of air. If you're comfortable, close your eyes to feel better. Fill up 100% into the shoulders. And this means the chest moves forward and backward at the same time. Let's pick up the speed, but do not sacrifice quality for speed. 100% in, 100% out, no matter what speed you're going at. Keep going. Like I said, when you're going a little bit faster, it's almost like the shoulders are dropping and pumping the air out. I'm not using any musculature here. It's all the air that's moving my shoulders. Notice what sensations are present. Keep it going. And a few more. All right, let that go. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths followed by 1 retention. So all the way in, out through the mouth, pump it out. One more cleansing breath and then a retention. Now let's fill up all the way, top it up at the top, lock, hold, relax, and feel. When it is your time, undo your lock, watch the air go. No need for chatter, feel. When you're almost empty, squeeze the last bits out. Lock and hold empty. Find the vacuum. When it's your time, breathe deeply into all three sections, feeling the pelvic bowl filling up and the energy spiraling up through the crown of your head as you breathe in. Pausing, feeling, noticing. Noticing how you feel now compared to the beginning of the practice. Well done. Very well done. So this is the beginning of, well, everything. And ideally, we begin to set this breathing pattern as our normal. Belly, ribs, chest. Mahat Yoga Pranayama. Mahat means great. So, throughout your day, just notice when you've forgotten to breathe, at least forgotten to pay attention to it, and come back and take a deep breath. The belly, the ribs, the chest. Squeeze the belly, ribs fall, the shoulders fall. This instantly snaps you back into the present moment, filling your body with oxygen and prana. And this is a practice. This is just the beginning. So, as often as you can throughout your day, and then also, of course, during meditations, during yoga practice, during any chance you get at a stoplight, take some few deep breaths, feel them, feel your body moving, feel your body sensing. Your body is always talking to you. We're now tuning into those messages. Beautiful. I'm so excited to have you here on this journey. You did very well. Practice this every day if you can, especially in the morning if possible, and again at the evening, and just do it for a few minutes. If that's all you have, just take a minute and do the belly breathing. Take a minute and do the ribs. Take a minute, the upper section, and then do all three sections. And then once you're full of oxygen and prana, try a retention. See what happens. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you for the next section. Namaste.